I made mic stands out of toilet paper rolls because we didn't have an extra mic stand. And a toilet paper roll and a guitar stand, the ones that are on the floor. Okay. Yeah, so you had it on the floor, and then I just put the microphone in the toilet paper roll, and the toilet paper roll was thick enough to put in the neck slot of the guitar hanger. Okay. And I was able to mic the snare drum or whatever I had to mic.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
So, going back to what you were saying about the guitar.
Yeah, it's a style, and what does it sound like? People would expect that style of a guitar to sound like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, which having all the hardware.
Right, having the proper hardware, having the baby beaver replacing the tailpiece, I don't know. They wind up doing that too.
If it is in the best interest.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it appeases the cordwood. I just came up with that.
That was very clever. How you did it.
Swap the T
Do you know how much wood is in it for?
Please enlighten me.
It's a stack of wood, 4 foot high, 4 foot wide, 8 feet long.
That's a lot of wood.
Well, depends. I burned 4 or 5 cords in here sometimes, some winters.
In the guitar playing profession, they call that power chord.
Okay, I thought that was only 3 notes.
4 by 4
By 8
feet
foot.
high. Big chord.
And a face chord is only 2 foot, or 1 stack. Whatever length they are, 18, 20 inches long. It's just 4 foot by 8 foot. That's a face chord.
Face chord, huh? That's all the same notes. We use the cage system in music.
Okay,
Yeah.
cage system.
Yeah, C-A-G-E-D. I have no idea what it actually is yet, but I think I actually use it without knowing what it is. It's another thing I have to look forward to. Yeah.
Like circle of fifths.
Yes. Always goes through. Face cage, but that's how we got the woodworkers of the world unite with the musicians of the world. We've always had that in common. When this whole thing goes to whatever it's going to go to, we'll still have each other.
Yeah. Do you know anything about adjusting truss rods?
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yeah.
Todd does, he was explaining
And
it.
if you go tighter, it bends up, and if you go looser, it bends back.
Yeah.
Back bends.
So a little,
Okay. Yeah.
Really? Yeah,
And it'll be the same way as it would be for a guitar.
Mhm.
You know, it's right underneath that little cap up on the headstock. At the time, I never really knew anything about it at all either. And when I learned more, I just never bothered, and the next thing I kind of gave it up, and then now I'm thinking about doing it.
Yeah. It's gone full circle.
Yeah, yep. You know, that I did a little bit of modification on too. That originally had a resonator on it. So I took everything off, took all the hardware off, but and also that's not the original head. I had one that was a regular,
So this thing is pretty much totally redone.
well, that's a fiber skin head. It's just made out of plastic or whatever, but it's made to look and sound more like an actual
Feels
skin
great.
head.
Yeah.
But
Feels great.
skinheads are, well, for one thing, they don't like a lot of people, you know.
I knew, because I was right there with you. So we'll cut
That
that.
popped in my head
Maybe
as
we
I
won't.
said skinheads. But no, skinheads are very much affected by humidity. Same with gut strings.
Yeah.
That are made out of actual gut.
Well, what is it? Sheep's gut too. That was the whole string thing, right?
Cat gut.
Cat gut, yeah.
Cat gut.
More cats than sheep.
Yeah, sausage casings.
Yeah.
Nice thought, like some meat sausage.
I don't really, but it's not gonna ruin anything because it's been so long that I'm gonna enjoy it either way because it's just nostalgic at this point. And even if I feel a little nostalgic in my stomach, afterwards that'd be fine. Side effects may include nostalgia. Well, I guess
Nostalgia is a good thing, but it can be a bad thing too.
it sounds like
Yeah,
something
I know.
that if it's not treated right away, it could lead to further irritation.
Yeah.
I guess if they haven't put it together by now, this is the new volume of SOIN DE VOUS, our little rendezvous here at Old Home Farm. We are promoting AnewVenue on September 14th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 583 Old Schuylkill Road. Tickets are $25 for adults. We're looking forward to seeing you. We're talking with Mark, who is Nancy's brother and a resident right next door to Old Home Farm. Stop me at any point if any of this is incorrect or inaccurate, or just cannot be said in public.
I will tell you.
Yeah, man. We did a good job last time. I enjoyed it. I hope you did.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, Monica's taken some pictures. So any pictures that you see during this particular broadcast was captured by Monica Mayer of the Tou le Mon and Canadian Tuxedo. Editing is great. Do you know that?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And nowadays with digital editing, hey, I used to be into that kind of thing when I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm into it.
When I was growing up, I wanted to get into film production, be a director and this and that. And I had an 8mm film camera, and I took films and stuff, and I'd cut them apart, and I'd have them hanging up in different places.
Oh, yeah.
To splice them all together and put them in different orders and so on. You know, like when we went on vacation, I had a fairly long reel of a vacation we took out west to Yellowstone Park when I think I was 14.
Do you still want to do that? Because I really want to do that, and I need somebody to play with.
A lot has changed since the mid-1970s. But you know, with some of the people I used to admire are still around, I guess. Peter Bogdanovich, he just passed away recently.
Oh,
Paper Moon was probably one of his bigger.
I think
Well,
we can
Tatum
talk about
O'Neal
this on
won
here.
an Academy Award for that. She's the youngest.
Yeah, she was the kid.
Youngest person. She was 11 or 12. Filmed in black and white.
Well, last night you sang a song. It was a special moment.
That's not my song.
Cool.
But the guy that wrote it, I cannot find him. All I can, his name, he went by the name Hallelujah Johnson. I have no idea what happened to the guy. I've got a couple of songs of his that he wrote, and I guess he wrote them. Very moving, some of them. The others are pretty funny.
Hallelujah Johnson.
Yeah.
Your delivery was great.
Absolutely.
Spot on.
What do you mean by that?
Got a great picture. Your voice sounded amazing. First of all.
Thank you.
Yeah. It just
Never
came
had
out
many
like
people
just
tell me
right.
that I could sing well, except for my mom.
It just sounded so natural, you know, like my dad's always saying, just like sing like you're talking.
Yeah.
The story, and you were just, that's what I meant by delivery, like the way
Okay.
it came out. It's
And
very
my mom,
unique.
you know, she always was telling me I was big and handsome and all that too, you know. So of course she told me that she liked how I sing. But my mom was a good singer. She was choir director at our church for quite a few years.
Yeah.
She played piano, she played violin when she was a kid. So she was very musical, but my dad, not at all. He loves to sing though. My
Cool.
dad loves to sing. Well, my sister, I think, talked about that one time when, not long after my mom and dad had been married, when they were fairly young. My dad was out in the barn working, and my mom was in the house, and one of the neighbors called and said, "Is Ron all right? I hear him hollering out in the barn." Well, anyway, here he was in the silo, forking, you know, silage down the chute. He was up there, and he was singing, but inside there, he was echoed out, and
I had somebody
I
come
thought
check
there
on
was
me in
something
the
wrong
shower
with
one
him.
time.
Somebody's trapped in the silo. Nancy has joined us.
Welcome.
Welcome back, Nancy.
Everything okay?
Nobody can hear you smiling,
I
Nancy.
know.
I heard it from here.
I'm just trying to think of the name of the girl that was in Paper Moon. She was in it with her dad.
Don't tell her.
Tatum,
Don't,
oh, I'm sorry, I won't tell her. I just.
I don't think she heard it though, did you? Nothing.
No, I didn't say
Well, the
anything.
game is still on. You have 3 more guesses.
Just can't think of her. I
Well,
can
she
picture
is now.
her.
She is still the youngest person ever to win an
An
Academy
Academy
Award.
Award, exactly.
There's going to be audience listeners being like, it's
Well, her father's name is.
O'Neal, Tatum.
Yeah,
Okay.
O'Neal, yeah.
I'm going to put all kinds of sound effects in. Ding, 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 ding.
We've got a winner.
This is great timing. We're glad to be back here. We're looking
Glad to have
forward.
you back at Historic Oldham Farm.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's another beautiful night too.
It is a
Yes.
very nice
Treated
night.
to a good one.
I love hearing the crickets, and during the day you hear the birds. You know, at night you hear the crickets, the frogs. They're actually loud, you know.
Yeah, they are in
The
here.
percussion
I didn't-
section.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes, it's really beautiful.
Night noises.
Woodpeckers on the property,
So
and
fun.
they have been really busy going after
They'll drive you
the
bananas.
trees that we've downed, and they go after them because the bugs are in the trees, right? And they go, and then they stop.
A little louder than that, Nancy. You can hear them a half a mile away.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just depends, yeah. And
Some
sometimes
trees, though, they just echo through the tree.
if you're close enough to
Right
them
on the-
and they don't see you, you can get hit by pieces of the wood
Yeah.
Flying.
just flying. And it's unlevel
The
how
trunk thing.
fast they can destroy a tree trunk. It's amazing. They're pretty cool. It's amazing to see. Nature is incredible.
Well, what did you just take a video of?
Oh my
today?
God.
What's that?
I'm just strapping in right now because this is going to be a whole tangent. But first, I gotta, there was a squirrel dragging a mop across my driveway. Long story short.
Short story
So I'll
out of
just,
that.
you know,
An actual mop.
An actual,
An
yeah,
actual
that's, you know,
mop.
the mop.
With a handle and everything on it, too.
Yeah.
From the
It's a big
stringy
squirrel,
end.
probably.
No, he's still growing.
Although yeah.
It is on video. It is on
Okay.
video. I just uploaded it to YouTube because I sent it to Todd and
Then
he's like,
it's
dude,
got to be real.
you've got to upload it to YouTube and make some money on the side because this is going to go viral. And I texted him back, oh my God, you're right. So that's going to probably get more views than anything I've ever posted.
Well,
And
I'll
that's going to
tell- I'll
fund
tell
the
you
rest
what,
of
though.
these festivals for our
I'll
whole
tell
life.
you what, if you want to be internet famous, you have to be willing to eat sawdust. That's what my son-in-law did. That's how he got to be used. I mean, he's gotten all kinds of woodworking equipment just given to him to feature in his videos and stuff. I mean, because he's got so many viewers. I forget how many. He's got over a couple 100,000. I think he's had videos hit he's had one or two videos hit 1 million views, I think.
Yes, he's done very well with it.
Yeah. And, well, because he ate sawdust.
Did he just do it the one time?
That's
Or
it. That was it.
No.
That was it. No, what he
You know.
did, he made a video, just a real short video about safety equipment.
Yeah.
And he's at his table sawing, has a board, and he's about to push it through, and he looks around, and he's, like that, and turns his head and pushes it through.
Oh my God.
And you see it cut off, and saw's going. And the next thing you see is his face covered with sawdust, and he had a big mouthful of sawdust and spits it out. Like that. And that was it. And the video got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. And that's
Yeah.
that's what did it.
What's
So
the,
all you
what's,
gotta do,
what's the title?
Hurling Hardwood.
Hurling Hardwood.
Herling.
For our lovely viewers at home and soon to be our viewers at AnewVenue.
Yes.
That's very nice right now. Everybody's
Twilight.
Twilight.
Between sunset and dark.
What is this little one's name?
Karma, it's a
Karma.
girl.
Oh.
She was named by my granddaughter, and she was given birth to on our deck. Her mother was an older cat, and she was having trouble giving birth, and my husband actually became the OBGYN who gave birth to her, and now she thinks that he is her father,
Oh.
and she continues to, pretty much live on our deck.
She
I
has
can
definitely been
see it.
hanging out tonight.
Yeah. We don't know her father's lineage.
Like most cats
True.
around here, especially.
Around here, yeah.
She came right up to us tonight.
She's very
she
friendly.
greeted
Yeah.
us, yeah.
She is very friendly.
I think Monica took a picture of her.
I did get a
So
little.
Good.
She was actually
that's
taking
Karma.
me on the tour.
that's
Ah, good. She will. I wanted to give a shout out tonight to Phil, who you remember,
Yes,
I'm
we do.
sure, from Tuned Up. He cuts my hair, and he said, "Oh, you're going to see Monica
Yes.
and
Dude.
Sean," and he wants to get a ticket for the concert that you're doing here on September 14th. He's
Yes,
excited
indeed.
about it, so.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
he remembers you very fondly
awesome.
Thank
from
you.
Tuned Up, and said you're the
That is so
nicest
mutual.
guys in the world.
Takes one to know one, man.
And he was very pleased to hear that we have hooked up together with this.
That is
and
awesome.
Amazing.
He's been here on the farm a few times. He was actually the last person to give my mom a haircut.
Awesome.
He came here to do it in person when she was very sick with cancer.
That's a blessing.
I
man.
haven't seen him
Absolutely.
in.
He comes
That's
because he
quite
comes
a
to
while.
church first service. We go to second
okay.
service. He goes to our church,
I didn't know he was
and
still coming.
yeah, he's a great guy.
It is this angel vibe too, because I remember we were staying in Royersford, and I was at the dollar store, and I just got out of my car and I saw him across
Phil.
exactly, and it was just that moment, like it was so uplifting.
Yes,
I was
just to
so
see him.
uplifted, and the
Yeah.
smile that
Yeah.
we both exchanged.
I go to get my hair cut by him just so I can talk to him. It's not. I mean, he's great at cutting my hair. I don't want to put him down at all.
No, you're not. You're promoting him. Phil cuts great hair.
Yes, but it just it's worth paying for the haircut just to see Phil.
Beautiful.
It really is. Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing
Philip
you.
is-
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude,
Philip is
we've
just
got your
a-
ticket right here,
The
man.
kind
Yes.
of guy that's just always friendly and happy, and
Yes,
he's
and
just
he
that
just
kind of
became a
personality.
grandfather.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
God,
in the
congratulations.
last 2 months.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And his grandson's name is Roman. Isn't that cool?
Right on.
Very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations, Phil, and we welcome Roman to the world.
Right, and it's wonderful to have that additional connection with you guys.
Yes.
Really amazing.
Yeah.
I just can't stop saying that word enough because
It's
it's
such
just
a
that is the
positive-
thing. It is like the,
Yeah.
you can not plan those things.
No, you can't plan those things. They're meant to be.
We are at Historic Old Home Farm. We are promoting a new venue on September 14th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 583 Old Schuylkill Road. Tickets are $25 for adults, and we're looking forward to seeing you. There will be a drum circle 4:44 p.m. with yoga and meditation session hosted simultaneously by Monica and I. We encourage you to hop back and forth between both. You can bring a drum if you'd like, but you are a drum, so you'll be fine. And the rest of the day, built around that, we've got a welcoming party at 1:11 p.m. just so everybody can get the lay of the land and just enjoy the natural sounds of the environment first, the birds, and get to know each other and hang out for a little bit. Be playing some music intermittently probably, but 2:22 I'll be doing a solo set. Monica will be doing her solo set at 3:33 p.m. We'll have the drum circle and the yoga meditation session at 4:44. That'll lead us into around the 6 o'clock hour, which 6:15, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, our band, the Tou le Mon, will be entertaining you for the rest of the evening, and that's where we will bid you adieu, and we will look forward to seeing you at the next one. That is September 14th. Phil, we've got your ticket right here.
If we're fortunate, the weather will be warm during the day and get a little chilly in the evening. We can make a fire in the fire pit,
Yes,
and
indeed.
people can have hot chocolate, and we will have cider, hot cider for them. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I love it, yeah.
Perfect.
Everybody has been willing good weather, and now you've just provided the perfect visual
Yeah.
for people to, that's what we're
Very,
going to do.
well, and hopefully it'll be a little like weather, and
Yeah.
and it'll be even more appropriate with things
Yeah.
like that.
We also have a fairly unique thing to indicate to people when activities are going to change to the next one, and that is our antique dinner bell,
Love it.
which was used in the old days to bring in the field hands for meals. But it's right there in front of the farmhouse, and if you want, I can go ring it. It's going to annoy the neighbors.
Please, so
Alright.
we know what it sounds
So
like.
you
Or
know,
the
you'll know what it
neighbors.
Yeah,
sounds
this
like.
is going to be lovely.
And when we do field trips for kids who are preschoolers, they all get a chance to get up and ring the dinner bell.
I love it.
Okay.
Mom used to call us with that all the time. Me or my brothers, we'd be, somewhere down in the pasture down here along the creek, or be up here on the other side of the road, up at the pond,
Same here.
fishing or something like that. She'd ring the bell,
I'd
and
be
we'd
in the
know
field.
something's up.
Yep, that's how my mom brought me back too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here goes. You can ring that a couple more times, and right through this valley through here, it carries good.
You heard it. You hear that, you know something's happening, something good. Thank you so much.
Sure.
It's so appropriate to have a
So
bell.
you heard it
That's
one
great.
time for the 1 o'clock stuff, and 2 times for 2 o'clock, and 3 times for 3 o'clock.
Beautiful.
and
Awesome.
so on.
We've got a bell system.
Yeah.
4 for 4:45.
And I'm sure we can get youthful volunteers to ring the bell.
Awesome.
Kids love it.
Fantastic.
See, yep, if Kat comes, she'll get to ring the bell.
You hear that, Kat?
You hear that? Yep.
How old is Kat?
Kat's 25.
Oh, well, she's not as
That's your
youthful as
sister.
I was thinking. Okay.
Oh, you
I
haven't
was
met the
thinking-
spry young spirit yet.
I was thinking like maybe an 8-year-old or
That's your
10-year-old.
sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've met her. She's great.
Wonderful, wonderful. That
She
would
would
be
love
so
that.
fun. Yeah. So fun.
Incredibly youthful spirit.
Okay. She can ring the bell. She can be in charge of ringing the bell.
She might, I don't think that's a choice. Yeah. Yeah, this is a very just special experience for us all around.
It is for us as well. We've had previous concerts here. You know, we had Shannon Curtis,
Yeah.
who, if you're interested in looking up, she did house concerts in the past, and she's written a book about house concerts and how you can make a living doing that, and she and her husband traveled across the country. I'm sure Mark has been to several of the concerts that
I've
she.
been a couple here, and I've been to one at the Colonial Theater in
Well,
Phoenixville.
okay, that's
the
her
last
newest
one.
thing. But she did concerts in people's homes and their backyards, and she used to say, in exactly one barn, because she was doing in the barn here. And you would just invite your friends, and she'd put out a bucket, and they would put in their donations. And that's how she and her
And they
husband made a
living.
living for years.
Cool.
And now they have graduated to doing it in halls and event
Theaters.
theaters,
places like
and they're
that,
going to
yeah.
be at Colonial Theater in September, after you guys are here.
Cool.
Yeah, you want
So
to know.
I let her know,
Very good.
and her husband, who is a music producer, about you guys, and I said, you know, if you get a chance, listen to them on YouTube. And he said, after he responded the next day, he said, oh, they are doing Sade? Okay, they are a great group.
Oh, well,
So
thank you.
he did listen to you guys, and he enjoyed it.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting that video up so that people can hear
Yeah.
it.
Right.
What's the name of her book?
I think it's How to Make a Living Doing House Concerts.
How to Make a Living
It's
Doing
really
House
Look
simple,
her up,
yeah.
Shannon Curtis.
Shannon Curtis,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you
yeah.
for that.
Thank you very much.
Good music too. It's very pop music, which
Pop
I like
synth,
it.
I believe it's called, SYNDH. I don't know too much about that.
Cool.
well synthesizes and stuff.
Yeah, that's what she does.
But yeah, but it's that's the style of music. It's pop music, which is it's fun music though.
And very
Yeah.
uplifting.
Yeah.
She writes it all.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I like a lot of genres of music, and I listened to a lot of bubblegum music and stuff like that when I was a kid.
I love that term.
And I still love that
Yeah.
stuff, you know. Like, it was good music. It
Yeah.
didn't have a lot of meaning to it, but it was fun music.
That's the
you know.
whole. That's why bubblegum is such a great term for it, because there's so much. You'd think that kind of went away, but it's more prevalent than ever now. But nobody everything's bubblegum right now.
But that's just it. There's just so much.
Yeah.
We're just so bombarded with media, with the internet.
Uh-huh.
You know, you can anytime you want, you can look up any artist or any song or any video that anybody's ever made.
It's just
You know.
like around the clock entertainment never sounded so horrifying.
Well, but just can't get away from it. Though.
And how you can go through these different like phases in your life where you listen to like one thing on repeat, or you get into a
Yeah,
certain
you get into a rut.
Yeah.
something.
Sometimes.
You know,
There's different modes
just
of that.
different, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I'm,
you just
I'm that
like
way though too. I listen to different
to the birds
styles,
and the
different
crickets.
times, depending on my mood.
So do I.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
always listen to
That's
Angry
where I'm
Johnny
at.
and the Hillbillies, but
Yeah.
there are times when I'll
I
sit
have
and
never
listen to him.
listened to Angry Johnny and the Hillbillies. I've never been in that mood.
You might.
Oh, you never
I've
know.
never had it.
Michael said he loves him.
Okay.
Mike Hurling, he likes him. I got him turned on to Angry Johnny.
What you were saying about just repetitive, you know. My sister watches Mamma Mia. Has been for years. Not just this, but Annie, any kind of musical. But she gets into the same grooves where like this is the thing. I could talk about just that forever because that is just a study in itself. Because
It
like
is.
it's been the soundtrack of my life from 2007, 2008, 2009. You know, name a musical, and that one is the soundtrack for that year. It's been played on loop.
Right.
The thing that makes that, you know, like she was saying, there's different modes of it, but I think where there's an element of study, you're really studying every part about something.
For me, it's an emotional connection.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
has,
and
yeah, I have to have some emotional connection to the music. Either the words have something to do with something I'm experiencing at the time, or the feeling of the music has to do with something I'm experiencing. And then years later, if I listen to that same song again, it takes me back to that time.
There are
And that
some songs
emotion.
that are very much like that for me. They trigger almost like a deja vu kind of feel. You know, not really deja vu, but that kind of a reminiscent feeling though. Wow, what happened? You know, kind of thing.
Right.
Time capsules.
Yeah.
A lot of bubblegum, talking about bubblegum music,
bubblegum.
that kind of music that was popular for a couple of minutes, you know, that song was, you know, well, I can't think of it but
Do
you know,
any of you remember the first bubblegum or popular music that you listened to as a kid that caught you? Do you remember?
Well, there's a couple different things that come to mind, so it's fun to hear like the caught you thing because there's like different like memories of like what does it mean to have like to be caught by something, and like I have this very strong image of a birthday where it was I got my first 2 cassette tapes.
Oh yeah.
Like actual like these are the ones that I've been gifted, and like what did people choose for me? Like
What did they choose for
it
you?
was Madonna's Immaculate Collection,
yeah.
which has just
I'm just grinning, man. Yeah.
and MC Hammer.
Oh,
Hammer Pants or
Can't
Hammer
touch
Time.
me.
Hammer Time.
you can't touch
yes, that's
Yeah, can't tell like you.
Wonderful.
The
Wonderful.
pants were out and everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what
the
the
parachute pants.
that's like it's interesting because that's like this image and like this like I keep putting my hands out because there were these 2 cassettes, and they were like really like landmark. I mean, because I didn't have a lot of like actual music that was on any, and that was for years. It was never really my thing to buy the music like that. There were just specific things that I would get, and but prior to that, there's like Christmas songs. When you're a kid, I
love
think
Christmas
it's
songs
like
Oh, yeah.
too.
you
That's
just
a
like
good
and then
example. Yeah,
you
that's a
do
good
like
answer.
you have these memories of singing in the car with your family and
Yes. Oh my
breaking
gosh,
out
we
into
do too.
harmonies and
Yes.
being goofy with who
Yes.
gets what
Well, like
first.
We are
Christmas
so
Carol,
blessed
I
to have
remember
those
so
memories.
much,
That is a
like
true
with,
Not
blessing.
everybody
You really
does.
are.
with
Yeah.
Christmas carols with our church used to go, they used to rent a school bus, and somebody from the church would drive the school bus, and we had a list of people that different people in the church knew that were older folks generally that were shut in, whatever. They didn't get out much, or whatever. They just people that would appreciate somebody coming and singing Christmas. And we'd all pile out of the bus, go up to their front door, and we'd sing like 2 different Christmas carols, and then we'd sing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," and then we'd all leave.
Yeah.
And
I
now
think so.
people would call the police.
Yes.
If a
Probably.
whole bus full of people showed up
No
at your
soliciting.
door,
Yeah.
it would be frightening.
Yeah, it is. That's strange.
I have a great story though about
Please.
Christmas carols.
Please.
When our mother was actively dying, she was on hospice in the hospital. We had been surrounding the bed, singing hymns and things that we knew she knew and loved for years and years. And our whole family was there, and she had not spoken for hours and hours. Okay, she, as far as we knew,
I
totally
know.
unconscious,
Yeah.
unaware of what was going on.
Yeah.
We started singing Christmas carols, and she started mouthing the words
You see what I'm
to
doing?
the Christmas carols.
I
So
have
Monica, they
chills.
are extremely special.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something
Indeed.
about that Christmas music that stays with you until the very last moment of your consciousness. Amazing.
You just unearthed this just absolutely beautiful, like visual story, history, everything, emotion.
It was so cool.
Very cool. Thank you.
We learn so much about things that they don't have a title for yet in this world, in
Yeah,
those
right,
moments.
exactly.
Yeah.
So do you remember, Sean, the first bubblegum or popular song that caught you as a kid, that you paid attention to?
Can I?
Somehow I'm seeing Michael Jackson in my head, but you tell
That's
me.
cool.
Jackson
But no,
5,
no.
probably.
Okay.
I really liked the Backstreet Boys.
Ah,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. And then
I
like
used to like them. My girls, I don't know if
it was my
Christmas
first
was-
concert.
No kidding.
Really?
Yeah. At
My
the
first
Reading,
concert was
at some
Johnny
kind of
Cash.
place. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
My sister
Yeah,
liked
Valley
that. So
Forge
that was
Music
something that
Fair.
we both
I love
liked.
Really,
Yeah.
it was Johnny
It was
Cash.
great music. And
Yeah, it
I
was
know
fun.
now that
We
it's
used to
I'm
go
like,
there
oh
when we were
God, I
kids.
know what
That's
they're doing. This is
another
really great music.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
I saw
Yeah,
Any,
that's-
was there a
there, too.
particular
Yeah.
song
Debbie
of
Bloom.
theirs, your favorite?
Remember?
There's a
There's
couple of
amazing
them.
concerts,
There's
but
one
I
that
was
Kat. There's a video that they did that's like Halloween based. So one of them's the Wolfman, one of them's a vampire, and it's the Backstreet's Back song, which is like it's a great track, and it's got the whole chromatic movement of. Bum, I wonder if we can get sued for this if I hum the whole melody. And you're like 3 notes, but it goes just down the
Well, as long
scale.
as you have a little break in there.
Sorry,
If I sneeze while I'm humming it.
Yeah, and then you
Is that
start
one of
again
them?
and finish it, then you're all right. That's good under fair use.
This is only the second broadcast that I've ever done. I don't know all the rules yet. I understand this is exactly how you're not supposed to
sometimes-
start out, but so far it's
Well,
going very
sometimes
well.
this is the best way to learn.
But go ahead with your story about the.
So it was.
Backstreet-
I like that song a lot. I think that's just the one that, because they had a couple ones that were really popular, and they had like something going on with fast food franchise, which was like, you look at that, how that happens in the music business, and like just the times of things and what's popular, and they had like toys and all this stuff going on. It's like, I learned a lot about music and marketing just by just being around it and stuff, and still I get to look back on it and just still put the pieces together. So stuff like that.
Halloween in high school, and I don't really remember all the details except that I was asked to, like, they're like, well, you Monica will do it, I guess, like, wear something like that they do in the music video and show up at the, but I didn't know, like, what I was doing. They were just like, wear something like this, and it'll be fine. And the next thing I know, I'm doing the, dance, yeah. They're like, all you have to do is this.
You
I'm
mean
like, okay,
Rocky
and it
Horror
was a,
Picture Show dance?
like
You mean
a
that kind
hey-
of dressing up for it?
right
Was it
night
the
or
same?
something.
Was it the
Yeah,
same thing?
yeah, it's
Cool.
the Backstreet
Yeah.
Boys. Yeah, they were doing that was their Halloween costume thing, and it was some kind of like, fall fest Halloween.
I don't know anything
It's
as catchy tunes.
crazy
though.
the crossovers here. I did not know that was the whole thing about like just show up. You like to dance and sing, you'll be fine. And then I learned afterward what the video was and like what was. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like I wish I'd seen this ahead of time so I knew what was going on. But we actually did it great.
I think that's cool that they recreated that.
Very cool. I'm much older than you guys. So the first song that I remember, much older, the first song that I remember catching me and my attention and saying, oh, I love this, it was Petula Clark singing Downtown.
Nice.
Remember that song?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
downtown.
Again, we're going to
Again, we're gonna get.
Downtown.
Well, they're a little busy at this moment. You can't sue them today. Petula Clark is suing them on Saturday.
Right. If I'm old, she's much older,
I
so
lo-
she probably won't mind that I'm
That's
older.
amazing.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
It's like the whole other avenue I wanted to go on. Like, I'm like, where do I start with is it like Motown? What was the, like, I mean, besides like Wheels on the Bus, like I was very just avid into singing anything that anybody would give me when I was a kid. But,
everybody learned
but there was
those, like,
something
nursery
about
rhyme
those
songs.
songs. Like, you just hit the nail on the head for me of like,
Yeah,
what,
because there's
and the
every
other ones,
decade has
like,
their own bubblegum.
Windy,
Yeah.
Wendy.
Windy.
But it was Windy. Yeah.
Windy.
It's
Windy
that
by the
same kind of
association.
vibe.
Oh,
And
I
then,
referenced them in a song.
And how about Brandy? Remember Brandy? And
That
then
song
I knew
is-
someone named after that song.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Brandy was named after that because of that, like, song so much.
One for me
was,
that you've given a different perspective on what the question was, and this is a song that we play in the set when we have longer sets. It's "Drift Away" by Dobie Gray.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was my indoctrination into what I do now, I think. Because
Really?
it was my first day of first grade, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I woke
I
up.
was probably 40.
God bless you. And
I was a teenager.
I had clock radio, and
Right.
then that
Young
went off,
teenager.
and I'm in the shower singing that because that was just one of the greatest things I've ever heard, and I was and just
Yes.
the water was pouring. I'm getting baptized. I didn't know it at the time, and then I went into my first day of first grade,
First grade.
and
With Drift Away.
with Drift Away.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you for asking such a great question.
It's so fun to hear. What was your first song that you remember of a popular song?
I think the first 45 I bought was, I bought it at Kessler's when they were on High Street before the arcade burned down. And they had the record department upstairs. It was Lynn Anderson, I think, Rose Garden.
Oh, yes.
Never Promised You a Rose
I
Garden.
never promised you a rose garden.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
You've heard that
Okay,
song.
so that brings up
Yeah.
another thing.
You don't know that song?
Yeah, this is great.
I don't know.
What was the first music you purchased? You actually put your money down
Well, that was
for.
the first
Oh,
one I did.
that's
That was
awesome.
the first one he bought.
Yeah. I have to think about it. I'm
Partridge
still
Family
thinking
probably
about
though.
that. I have
Partridge
to.
Family
remember the
though,
first
too.
one
They
you
were, I was about,
I didn't make my
9 or
first
10
real
when they
purchase
came out.
until like a couple years ago.
Really?
I'm just kidding. I've never had money. Yeah,
stealing and downloading.
it was a
albums.
big day a couple weeks ago. Yeah. No, I can't remember. I think it was probably, and then you had like, I didn't buy digital music, I don't think, because that was still new to me and I wasn't like so in
I
tune
still
with
don't
that kind of
like
stuff.
the whole idea of buying digital music. I like to have something that,
And see,
you know, if it's somewhere else, somebody's storing it somewhere, whatever you have access.
my
It's
first
just not like
purchases,
if you-
they were the first like steps that I made to get something, which was to tape it off the radio. So I would
I was
sit
gonna
and
say do that.
absolutely
That was
like
the thing. I
okay.
forgot about that.
There,
Oh,
I
yeah.
had the station on,
Uh-huh.
and I would be there with my finger on the play and record, and then like test it like 7 times to make sure that
Yes.
indeed when I press these two together, okay, it
There is
works.
medication for
Make
that.
sure it's set again, and then the song comes. And but you try to anticipate like they're
Yes.
gonna play this song next, and then
Yes.
you get it, so that you
Yes.
get the
But
whole
then-
thing.
The whole
But the
thing.
DJ on WFIL anyway, when I was a kid, they always spoke during the intro of the song until they started to sing
This
the
was the
song.
tough thing,
So
They got their voice as well as
Yeah.
the
The
intro
watermark,
song.
yeah.
But yeah, Whitney Houston, when her rendition of "I Will Always Love You" was like really this big, powerful anthemic,
It still is.
and I can remember for that. And then
That's
there were
probably one of the
Elvis songs.
best songs
100.
that Dolly Parton ever wrote.
I,
I think.
and now I just adore listening to Dolly sing it. But at
Me
the
too,
time
yeah.
when it came into
Yeah.
the radio world that
It
I
was
was
Whitney.
listening to,
Yeah.
it was Whitney.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah. Do you know,
holding
do you
that
know
note
who she
so
wrote
long
that
that
for?
you would be singing it with her. And
Do you know who she wrote that for?
Dolly?
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't
Porter
think-
Wagner.
Ah.
They used to be, on a team. They used to sing together.
Cool.
Because their business relationship was dissolving, and just wanted to make it known that there was no hard feelings. That
I will always love you.
yeah. I mean, she's married and all that, but it's
You-
a different kind of love.
For a friend. She wrote it for a
For
friend.
a friend, yeah.
Interesting.
Mm,
Well, the first music I purchased was the Monkees, who were on
Nice.
TV at the time, and
Yeah.
I loved the Monkees. And I saved my dimes in this little book that you could get that you put a
From the
dime
bank
here
account.
from the
From the
bank.
bank, yeah.
Yes, it was $3 at the 5 and 10 to buy this album, and I loved "Take the Last Train to Clarksville, I'll be waiting." Oh, I loved
Or
it.
whatever the
And I
guy's
played it
name
on
is
my
that
little
wrote those
record
songs,
player.
but they wrote a lot of good catchy tunes.
Yep.
Yeah, my mom has a lot of stories about the record player that was in, the 45.
Yep.
And what was
45 and the
around.
78s.
Yeah.
That Kurt's got them all.
Yeah. We have in the farmhouse, which we can show you at some point, the Victrola that plays the old music, and we have songs on there like "Fido is a hot dog now."
That's one of
Is
my
that-
favorite songs.
Is that on? Is that the song that comes?
Had a dog named Fido that I loved very much.
Okay, no, I think
I
that's different.
used to spend all my dough on puppy cakes
and such.
I'm picturing the dog off of Victor Records.
But
Victor
Fido is a
Records
hot dog
next to the
now. Is
phonograph.
the sad
But I won't
ending
look
of the
all
song.
over the
way
way
you
they
look
did
for
for
Rover.
Rover, 'cause I know right where little Fido's gone.
Poor
Poor dog.
dog.
He's in a place below where all the naughty,
Naughty
doggies
doggies
go.
go.
Not all go.
Down,
Down where there isn't any snow.
Though his hair was short and his tail was long, I miss that little Poochie somehow. But he won't get cold feet at that. There's too much mustard where he's at. 'Cause Fido is a hot dog now.
And there's no one left from the 1920s to sue us.
Yeah, that's right.
Big applause there.
But you know what's on the flip side of that?
A lot of
Fido?
estates. A lot of estates.
The one about
Abba Dabba Honeymoon.
Abba Dabba Honeymoon.
Yeah.
Abba Dabba 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 Honeymoon.
Yeah, a very racist song.
Very racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very racist.
They knew how to write them back then.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
We won't sing that one.
I always had Elvis influences from my Yaya, which is grandmother in Greek. So I had all these things that were like, well, you're not
She
going
liked
to be.
Elvis.
She loved Elvis.
Wonderful.
That was it. She stayed in the shower for
I
about
shouldn't say like,
an hour.
because anybody
She-
that likes Elvis
understatement.
loves
Yep,
Elvis.
yep.
Yeah, loves Elvis.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I heard that she stayed in the shower for like 2 hours when she heard on the radio that he died. They were talk about like
I
having to
remember-
check on people in
I
showers.
remember when he died. We were down at the shore because it was in August of 1977. And you know what?
A year.
There's a group I work with that helps feed homeless folks in Pottstown. We had a yard sale here, and somebody donated some stuff to us to sell at
What
a yard
what
sale.
group
One-
is it? I'm sorry.
It's Leanne's Life-Changing Fairies.
I'm not a fairy. I am a gnome.
That's
Somebody
Mark. They
donated.
all know him down there. It's totally okay.
Somebody donated a bunch of different things, older things, and one of them was an unused ticket to an Elvis Presley concert 2 days after he died. Yeah.
Haunting.
That's a
Well, we
value.
looked it up, and they sell for around $100 to $150. Apparently, there's a lot of them around.
Mhm.
But
It's just more
it's
the.
kind of something to save something like that from. I save stuff too, though. You know, remember when we used to do the paper ballots and you tear up a little corner that had the number on it? I still have the one from the very first time I voted.
Wow.
The difference between I guess somebody that's a hoarder and somebody that's not a hoarder.
What's the difference?
Sentiment.
Okay.
There's no actual joke there, but, and also a lot of medication as well.
Right.
No,
It's
yeah, medication is very much involved.
Yeah, that's
Well,
another
it's
thing.
like the difference between being crazy or being eccentric, or being nuts.
One's fun and just one's
Just, yeah.
kind of a bummer.
Yeah, well, it just depends on how much money you have.
Mark helps to feed the homeless folks or people who are,
They're not all on
we don't
house, but
like to
a
say
lot of them-
homeless, they are unhoused
But not all of
or
them are either.
food
They help- we help a lot.
insufficient.
Just
Right.
people that need something.
Food
They might be,
security.
yes, some
Yeah.
of them are
Food-
living in their
we give them some
car
food
or
security.
whatever, and
Cool.
he does this every Thursday and
Every Thursday,
Saturday.
I do a lunch at Smith Plaza.
Food security.
Giovanni's
Yeah.
Pizza up here, they donate pizzas every week for me. I
Every
pick
week?
up 2 pizzas, and then I usually I buy water and chips and stuff like that to take along too.
So if anybody wants to bring donations for that,
Oh yeah.
water bottles or,
Saturdays though, that's when they have the big one. It's right across from what they call Tent City in Pottstown, where the main homeless camp is. And they set up there across the railroad tracks from there. They're not allowed to do it anywhere on borough property. We're right across from the park, but we're on Norfolk Southern.
yes,
It's railroad. Okay, it's the railroad.
Railroad
It's the
property.
railroad property there, Norfolk Southern, and they
clothing, bicycles,
tents and
Tents.
sleeping bags, you know, for people until they can get on their
Blankets.
feet, whatever.
and a lot of the folks are, of course, people who have mental illness, people who have addictions, people who are just down on their luck for one reason or another.
They're all just people.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, not like anybody ever decides, hey, I'm going to be homeless. Or,
You think-
I'm going to become a drug
Yeah.
addict or,
Or I'm
whatever.
gonna have mental illness.
You
Right.
think about moments in people's lives that change, you know, that are the life-altering situations, and you think about that care just never came, whether it was from somebody that was, you know, a family member or somebody that, you know,
And of course, a number of veterans who have been through
which is the
various
ultimate.
types
Yeah.
of trauma.
If anybody cares about the troops, don't send them to war.
Right,
How about
That's right.
that's right. We just had a discussion about that just before starting this, where we were complaining about our taxes and school taxes and so on. And I said, I have no problem funding education. I'll do it
hardest
all the
thing,
time.
isn't it?
I don't wanna fund bombs.
Exactly.
Well-
And
Well,
the-
yeah,
like
but
the
we were
way
discussing how much
complicated.
I pay in property
Right,
taxes.
right. That- I don't mind doing that. I just don't wanna pay for
So I do
bombs.
kind of mind it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but we know what the ratio is. We've seen what's spent on the
Education
schools and
versus war.
education.
We
and
can,
helping our community.
and how
with
much on
whatever
education that was
resources we
spent
have.
on education?
One
and how much is
Oreo.
spent on administration?
Yeah.
And because I know that, I feel like I have an obligation to share this farm with other people, have people come here and enjoy it at things like the,
And donate money to help you continue
Continue
to have it.
to
here.
have it and
Because
provide
it takes a
people a
lot
chance
to maintain
to
it.
come here.
I mean, there's
It
a lot of
does.
grass to mow here. Kirk's busy every day.
But I want
Mowing
people
and
to able
we
to
whack
come
and
here and
trim.
enjoy it and use it like your backyard, you know, because
Well, not like some people's backyards.
Not
They
like
don't
some
clean up after their
backyards.
dogs.
I want people to be able to enjoy it as we have been blessed to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's
God
a lovely
bless you
way
for
to
that. That's
introduce the property to people. And like we're sitting here in this little picnic area, and there are picnic tables set up with umbrellas for providing shade and have a nice little lunch. But you can also bring a blanket and spread out on the grass and bring your own cooler.
Sit in front of a fire with the fire
in front of
going.
the fire,
Yeah.
Be down in the meadow making music.
Harmony.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as you were saying, what they used to call the pursuit of happiness and all of that, and just living life and having a space to do so, which is harder
Yeah.
and harder to come by.
Right.
Yes. So
I've been thinking a lot about how it's like we want the conditions for happiness. We think about, what we need to have. We even say that expression, like, I need this to be able to do that. And I think there's something very special about just being here and actually advancing into, just showing what we do have now and sharing that, because there's never going to be another now when you
Right.
can just do what you can, the gifts of music and conversation and gathering with our
Oh, yeah.
friends and community in this beautiful place.
And the gifts that you have, I mean, we have the gift of having the space. You have the gifts of the music, which we don't have. And it's so wonderful to be able to combine them.
I'm so grateful.
Very
We are
grateful.
too.
Yeah.
We are too.
To have people that we can work with.
But
And
no,
that's why
No,
we,
for sure.
that's why we want to take what we do to this place, because I
Yeah.
don't like playing in bars. You know.
There's another guy who has played here, and I think Mark has been to at least one of his concerts here, Dan Pell.
no.
No?
I've never heard him play.
He also prefers to play places where drinking is not the major event.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has been doing a thing where they have a meal, like
Yeah.
a potluck dinner, and then he performs. And that's the kind of thing that I can see you guys doing. A community kind of folks. And then there's also enjoying the music together.
Yeah. There's just environment, just the quality of environment that
Yeah,
you're at, and
it's very
this
different,
place
yeah.
is so special. She's getting the
I'm fine.
blankets. That's what,
I'm fine, thank
You're
you.
good?
Yeah.
Anybody
okay.
else? I brought an
But it
extra.
just made me think of that because Dan was here one time
oh, thank you.
up in the barn and it was freezing and everybody had blankets
Mark?
on and
Yeah.
stuff, but
I'm good,
the
thank you.
music
This sweater is all
Just to
brought
give-
everybody together.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Point was, we have a show coming up, the Tou le Mon. We're playing at Dawson Street Pub this Saturday on the 24th.
And where's that?
That's in Philly.
Manayunk.
Take the
Right out
train.
the train station.
Take the train.
Uh-huh,
Don't try to. Parking's not good.
right, right.
Can't get the
Don't even
train across
carpool,
town
not
no
gonna
more.
work, yeah.
You used to get it in Boston, can't even do that no more.
But we're going to be playing there this Saturday. I guess that's when we played Smoky Joe's on the 3rd. But
Okay.
that time before then, people were asking us where you playing, and we were promoting this place in conjunction with those places. And they were saying, oh, well, we can't make AnewVenue, but we can make, Dawson Street. And I had to reiterate, I'm like, wow, if there's really one place that you are going to want to see us, it's going to be this place, because you get to see a band in their environment. And
Yeah.
that makes all the difference with any kind of
It
performance.
does, yeah.
Being a house band, you mean, like that?
Well, farm band.
Farm band.
Farm band, whatever, but that's what you're
I think it's
getting at?
interesting when you're a musician performer that is involved in, like, you go to a restaurant or a bar, you're performing there, and then you're responsible for what that venue is doing.
Yeah,
And
Okay,
so
Yeah.
that really was a lot of the inspiration and motivation for presenting especially our original music and our original approach to music in a space. What's the preposition? And we talk about prepositions too,
On.
in the sense of like we and like how we're actually structuring our sentences. And so yeah, the environment is a we
Language is a
realize
very
that we have a
interesting
choice, and
You do.
yeah, and it's important that we actually work where we feel our heart is and our music is able to resound.
And be appreciated in a way that's very different than when you're sitting in a bar and
Well, that's
hearing
one of the
music.
things that, you know, people there are all listening, I'm sure, because they're, but I'm usually the only person that claps.
Not
Oh,
only,
well, and the one, there's two other guys there, and the one guy's mom is like 87 or 8, and she often comes, she claps too.
there's so many it's just wonderful because any person can say anything and it can rifle off like 10,000 avenues in your head of inspiration of what you just said, and then I got to pick one of them right now. But what you just
Well,
said about
please,
no, you go.
Well, this is going to be a little different though, so if yours is like
I didn't actually have anything prepared. I was just bluffing.
the other avenue, like a lot of musicians, is to play at an event where what you do has to be so precise. So like you're performing at a wedding and you're playing the song that the bride is walking down the aisle to, or
Perfection.
And so there's and luckily a lot of those happen in beautiful venues now, and you guys are hosting weddings here, which is really cool. But the music that you get to just make and create and do it for the sheer like appreciation that you make for yourself, like that's part of what we mean by caring for yourself, is finding what brings you joy.
Yeah.
It's like when you were saying, just we were joking about prepositions and just, but how important that is to what we're saying, of just the reflection of like, what does make everything in this equation of whatever it is in front of us right now, what are the components, and are they all qualified to be something that's going to produce the absolute highest possible output? Qualified as in the true definition of it, because language is a funny thing, and what we're doing to it is not helping really anybody right now.
Prepositions and pronouns.
Hey, like you can qualify a glass of water by, you can actually raise frequency of things by, lifting it up, putting some positive charge into it.
Have you ever made a glass
Oh, yeah.
sing
That was a
by
great
running
feeling.
your finger around the edge?
It's a favorite pastime.
Mine too, mine and my brother, Kurt.
Yeah.
Have you heard of these experiments where like water droplets are frozen and then they're talked, like so somebody spoke to the water
No.
and you watch the progression over time of the water droplets becoming something, if for the words that were used, that were really loving and nurturing and kind over time. It's a beautiful snowflake,
Oh my.
like this absolutely gorgeous, intricate version of
I've heard something
the,
about that.
yeah.
That's
And it's
incredible.
because of the vibrations in your voice.
And it has the, what's that called, the eternal circle or something?
Flower of life, or the geometric shapes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's continually smaller and
Freeze-
smaller to
Geometric.
infinity,
Fractal.
basically.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes, I've seen some stuff about that. It's been a little while ago, but
And then we were just watching this video about flowers and plants and how they have an electric charge, and how
I have
there's-
heard that.
Yeah, like a hum associated with that, and that bees have the opposite charge, so they have, they
Opposites
can
attract.
be attracted to that, and that when the two sounds meet, they neutralize.
Oh, wow.
cancel each
And
other
it,
out.
yeah, and it's this,
That's
it's,
how noise canceling headphones work.
wow.
Well, as musicians,
that is
I'm sure
wild.
that is especially fascinating to you guys. For me, as a person who I am a person of faith. I believe in God. My God is love, as more than anything else in the world. That's what I believe, that God is love. And that's just incredible to me, that everything has been created like that, with such connections. It's incredible.
You're saying such a beautiful thing, but all I can picture is the cat playing music.
No, it's my phone over there.
That was the cat playing some music.
My alarm went off.
Yeah, the cat got a hold of some musical instruments and now they start to get a little wild.
That was also God. Colin.
We
That was
are,
God.
yeah, exactly. Todd was calling.
At the same time.
Say thank
Nancy,
you for your
pick up.
shout
You
out.
better not be talking about me right now. I need you.
Yes,
That's
I have
funny.
to quit.
Oh, this is a
And it's
wonderful
like-
spot to at least take some kind of break, but we have talked about so much that people probably forgot why we were here, which I'm just kidding.
Why are we
You gotta
here?
remind them.
Yes.
Well, we are here. Where are we, first of all?
We are at the Old Home Farm.
The historic.
The historic Old Home Farm.
Yes,
That's
we
so they
are.
get the right one.
Yes, since 1769.
And we are sitting here.
At 583 Old Schuylkill Road, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, 19465.
Nice.
Yeah, I say Pottstown because that's the.
We're
on
not
the map,
really
but I-
Pottstown, it's
yeah,
our mailing address.
That's what I was gonna say, if you could
Yeah.
tell more about what
We're
area.
in East Coventry Township in Chester County.
Yes.
So I do have to work on my pronunciation.
East Coventry.
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 East Coventry.
Yeah, everybody says Coventry, but it ain't.
Coventry.
Yeah.
It's named after Coventry, England.
And you are listening to the soothing sounds of Mark Elliott, brother figure of Nancy Elliott Carter, who has just left the pavilion for a brief momentary service elsewhere. I am Sean Tuho. To my right is Monica Mayer. And we are at Old Home Farm, the historic Old Home Farm, promoting AnewVenue, which is September 14th, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. 583 Old Schuylkill Road. Well, Mark just told you.
I did.
Yeah. What, were you not listening?
It doesn't hurt to repeat, because people probably aren't listening.
Hey, 3 times they say, you know. But we've got awesome stuff planned for the day. This is our first one. We're celebrating a lot of things, and we were able to talk about a few of them. And we thank you for listening. We love you. We look forward to seeing you. Anything else, guys?
Y'all come back now, I hear?
Looking forward.
We want to say again, thank you so much for listening to SOIN DE VOUS with Sean Tuhill.
Monica Mayer.
Mark Elliott.
Nancy Elliott Carter.
Good night, guys. We'll see you September 14th at AnewVenue. Looking forward.
Looking forward.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.